morning and happy Wednesday. I'm Michelle Quay. Welcome to the show. You are watching Live Coffee Talk, where I airstream every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Pacific time. This is a show about business and mindset, and I invite guests to bring their inspirational stories on their business journey and in their personal stories to inspire you to wanting to get out there to get seen, get heard, and get higher. Those of you who are new to me, I am Michelle Quay. I am a visibility coach, resilient speaker, author, and I am a clinical pharmacist. I am also the founder of Elevate Life Coaching, where I help women coaches to find their voice, to get clarity into their story so that they can implement a content marketing strategy that to confidently and courageously get out there to get seen, get heard, and get higher. Now, those of you who are new and you are inside my Facebook group, the newest development is that I am in a restricted Facebook jail. And it's a long story to go through that, but we're not going to talk about that because we are going to show up in our business today as the Empress of our business. So with me today is Nimisha Mehta. She is an empowerment coach and she empowers everyday women to feel beautiful and be comfortable in their own skin so they can manifest love and prosperity in life. Now, I don't know about you. I think this whole thing about law of attraction totally worked. Like, if I were to sit there and worry about being in the Facebook jail, then I probably wouldn't show up 100% being me. And chances are you're probably not going to see this live. So I need you to do me a favor. If you're watching this and joining me live, if you can kindly put it into the comment, typing live if you're watching this live. Now, if you're watching this as a replay, I would love for you to hashtag replay to let me know that you're following along and this is something that is interest to you and that you want to manifest more love and prosperity in life. So without further ado, please join me and with a warm welcome, Nimisha Mehta.
Hey!
Hi! Hello,
How
girlfriend.
are you, Michelle?
Right. My biggest thing is I am in a Facebook jail. They
Yes.
locked me away. And in that moment, I was like, holy crap, what am I going to do?
You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna do the podcast. That's what you're gonna do.
That's what I'm gonna do. So,
That's right.
I've known you for quite some time now, and we work together. But like throughout the whole process, what's really interest and attracted me to you is you're very out there on Instagram. And every time I go visit your profile, your reel, it was just amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I love being out there. It comes with the cons as well, which I will discuss with you. But I think for me, my mindset is to have fun, and I have so much fun on camera. I have fun off camera too, but I put my personality on camera, and I'm not actually camera shy because I've been on camera before. So it doesn't, I'm not shy. Now, here's the thing. Um, Sometimes it's a little much, being out there that much. You want to, you kind of, you don't want to bore people of your face. So that does come into my mind sometimes where I think, oh, is that's too much of me? And then there are other people who are like, I don't have any of me out there. So that does come into mind. But yes, there's a lot of me out there.
It's interesting how you brought up like a lot of people when we're doing live for our business, and you want to build that visibility. The number one thing, you'll hear a lot of business coach and coaches who's been in the industry for a while. They keep encouraging people to, go do a live, go be on the reel, do a video, right? So they keep encouraging people to go out there and be on the video. But like you said, not many people feel comfortable about it. And it's that self-talk is start, oh, am I going to be in people's face? Am I boring? Am I too lame? Do I have interesting topic to talk about? So one of the things that really caught my attention and my eyes is the way that you dress and you carry yourself on the camera. Tell me more about that.
So yeah, that's actually a very thing that actually plays on my mind very decisively. I go about with how I plan to be out there. Now, what does that even mean? What I mean is that when I started this journey, and that's what my program is about, the Empress program is about this, is that when I started the journey, it became me trying to figure out who I am. What do I like? What do I look like? What do I dress like? What do I sound like? Am I coming across as? And so that was really important for me to sort of figure out first. So I did. And once I figured that out, then I could just be me. So I whatever I wear in real life is where I wear on camera. Barring maybe my PJs, but sometimes you've seen me in my PJs as well. So I actually am one of those people who is uh, exactly the way I am on camera. But there's one more caveat that I want to add on here that and I'm going to do a podcast with another friend on this as well, is the filters, that come into play. And I believe that the filters that add maybe say an extra light on your face because maybe you're in a darker place or maybe you're shooting at night or something and there's not enough light in your house,
Mhm.
that I believe is good. Or sometimes you don't want to put on any makeup, you don't feel like dressing up or anything, and you put some extra light so your face looks brighter. That's all stuff that you can still use on these I guess places. And so I use them, I utilize those things as well. And I believe that if you truly are very confident in how you represent yourself in front of a mirror, when you stand in front of the mirror and you are comfortable with that person that's looking back at you, then when you go on camera, you will be 100% comfortable with who you are, with what you're wearing, what you're saying, what you're not saying, and even the mistakes that you may make. Because a lot of us make mistakes and then we're just like, oh, that's not what I meant. Um, Even that, I believe you will own because you're like, I'm authentic. So even the mistakes are mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
think what you brought up is a very interesting perspective. Especially, there's a difference between. To me, I feel there's a difference between a masculine world, a world, a business for women versus for men. For men, when they do like video, they don't have to go to the restroom or to ladies' room and say, you know what, wait, let me put on my makeup first before I go online. For women, no, that's not something that we do. We got to make sure that we're properly dressed, we have our makeup on, we have our hair done before we can hit that go live button. Right? It's a completely different world for a man being in the business versus a woman in the entrepreneurship in the business world. So, one of the topics that you're very passionate about is talking about this masculine energy versus the feminine energy. Can you give us a little bit of background in terms of what does that mean?
yes, really good point. Actually, a man can just put on a maybe a good nice shirt and maybe just do his hair a little bit and turn on the camera and start talking. Some actually don't even do that. So and that's there's a difference. There is a difference, and the difference is the way that we receive these videos. And I know many women who do the same thing. They just, however they feel, the hair's not done or they just woke up or whatever, will go on there and they're absolutely comfortable. So I think it's a comfort level thing. But also, the women that like to put on the makeup and make sure that their hair is done and like they like to dress up. I feel that that should be acceptable as well because it's like going to work, right? We have some of us have this in our mind that when I go to work or when I go to school, you have a certain uniform and you look a certain way and you're, as I would say, presentable.
Mhm.
So there are people that actually like doing that, actually enjoy doing that, and that's the feminine side that we seem to, in this authentic world, that's also authentic. And so I feel that putting on makeup, getting dressed up, wanting to look a certain way, presenting yourself in a certain way is the feminine side waking up and saying, I like doing this. And so I think that the accept, for us to be able to accept that, it comes with a little bit of a because that part we deny, saying that that's fake, it's not real. But you really do have to understand who is that person dressing up for. Is it for the camera and for the audience, or is it for themselves? Because if it is for themselves, they're just using that part of their feminine energy to feel a certain way. What do I mean? For example, when I put on a red lipstick, I feel very different than when I have no lipstick on. And that's not because of the way people are looking at me, it's the way I feel from the inside. I'll give you another example. When I'm wearing matching lingerie inside of my clothes, nobody can see what I'm wearing inside, but I know how I feel. So I will have an extra sort of, bounce to my step. So it's all about how you feel, and that's the feminine, where she wants to feel a certain way. The masculine energy is to do. Let's just get on there and make a video. We want our business to do well, and this is one step forward to my business doing well. That's the masculine. The feminine is like, well, I mean, I also want to feel great. I want to feel confident. I want to look confident. So that's the mixture of the two. And for us to deny that is also, I feel, not authentic.
Mhm. So how do I balance between the two? Because I'll be honest, a lot of time I bring a lot of my masculine energy into doing business. So I'm like, I would just write down a to do that I have already done and just check it out because I'm all about do. So how
Yes,
do I
yes.
balance? How do I balance? And I think that's where I was struggling is to balance bringing that feminine energy where, once in a while, I like to dress up a little bit. I like to doll up a little bit. So I look good. I feel good. How do I
Yeah.
balance between the two?
I Morning routines are big for me with feminine energy, also with masculine energy, but mainly with feminine energy. So when I wake up in the morning, every single morning this is, and I, will meditate for a little while, and then I will do my I like to write things down, as you said, the things that I want to do in the day. So the to do again comes from the masculine, but then I do mirror work, which is my feminine. I look in the mirror and I say to myself, I look at the girl that I want to be that day. And that girl is the one that comes from my feminine. That girl is the imagination. That girl, and even for a male, by the way, if you identify as a man, you can also look in the mirror and see someone that you want to be. That's your imagination. And then you put on, say for example, you want to put on a suit that day and feel a certain way. Somebody who puts on a suit will feel very different than somebody who puts on a t-shirt. Same as somebody who puts on a red lipstick will feel very differently than somebody who puts on no lipstick. So you decide who and what you want to be that morning or that day. And that's the feminine energy, the imagination, what you want to be in the future, what you want to project. That's the feminine energy. That's the creative energy. And so I think anything to do with creativity comes from the feminine. So you don't even have to go out of your way to do anything different. Just look in the mirror and decide what you want today. Do you want some confidence? Okay. How is this confidence going to be instilled in me today? Is it going to be by my clothing? Is it going to be with a thought that I'm thinking throughout the day? So it doesn't even have to be clothes or makeup or whatever. These are all just tools. Another tool could be your mindset. You could wake up in the morning and say, I am, you could have affirmations. And that's how you feel throughout the day. And you repeat the affirmations throughout the day to know that this is what you'd like to feel. So all of these things that I'm naming are all tools, affirmations, feeling a certain way, dressing a certain way, but it actually helps a lot when you embody, when you put on something physical. So, for example, you put on, as I said, a suit. You're holding that suit in your hand, you're putting it on your body, you're looking at yourself, projecting that image right in front of you. It's a totally other situation than when you're imagining something. It's much stronger, I feel.
Mhm. I love how you're sharing all these tools about affirmations, and just by looking into the mirror and think about who do you want to be today, and what kind of person. Maybe it's putting on a suit or a dress and putting on the lipsticks. That would entirely change the way that we do things in life, or the way that we create things in life. So I'm curious though, how has this changed your personal life or your business life?
For me, honestly, Michelle, I had to find out first who I really am and what I like.
Mhm.
So, for example, I had to find out if I liked red lipstick, for example. I had to figure out whether I liked wearing heels or not. And if the answer is no, that's fine. But I have to get to the question first. What do I like? Who do I want in my life? To look back at me from the in the mirror. And so that was really important for me. So there are different people inside of us. One day you're going to feel like only wearing pajamas all day. And that relaxed girl is also you. One day you're going to want to be, wearing a powerful suit. And that's also you. So there are these different people inside of us. And a lot of times we forget to ask who we are, or we just kind of go with the flow and become the person we've always been. So I always like to do a values as exercise with myself. Is that what are my values, what are my likes and dislikes? And I like to do this more often than not because they change, they vary. And so I have a friend who saw me, wearing a red lipstick, and she's like, I could never do red. And I'm like, have you tried? Just try it. And she did. And, she sent me a picture and I said, that's fantastic. That's amazing. And she's like, I feel great in it. And I said, The way you feel is how someone on the outside will feel about you. Don't ever forget that. That the way you feel in anything will project the kind of vibration that will force almost other people to feel that about you.
Mhm.
And if they don't feel that about you, it's okay as long as you feel that about yourself. Where there's a saying, fake it till you make it. There's a reason people say that. Is because your mind doesn't know the difference between real and fake. The mind is just basically the mind is it's just a place where you just, it's like a computer, you feed things and it accepts it. The computer doesn't say, oh, that information, your word document's not going to say that information is not good enough for us, so why don't you go put that in Excel today. The word document is like, open a document and put whatever you want and save it. So your mind is that it doesn't know the difference between fake and real. So what you want to feel, it's real.
I think that's the most powerful thing, because whatever that you feed into your mind, it register, it take it, right?
Yes.
And it becomes something that you manifest, something that you bring out into the world. If you're someone who feel confident, then chances are you're gonna stand taller. You're gonna look more positive. You look certain way, and that send out the message to the world that you are a confident person. So for someone who's struggling right now, who's struggling with that level of confidence, and they have a lot of that doubt, that voice that's going on in their head, what are some of the strategy or tips that you can share with them, to just kind of overcoming that little hurdle?
I honestly strongly would suggest that they sit down and try to find exactly why they struggle. Ask yourself questions. Even just book a call with someone and see, if they can help you, just that initial why you are feeling that way, because that's really important. Once you have the why, then you can find what you can do. The why leads to the what. And if you cannot find the why, then work with baby steps, because that's what I did. I first started with just, and one of my friends actually is a coach as well, Ajay Bhargav, actually helped me figure out these smaller steps, where he said, just wake up in the morning and pick the outfit that you like, that you feel powerful in, wear it, and stand in front of the mirror. That's it. You don't have to wear it throughout the day. Just wear it for 5 minutes. You can take it off later, but just wear it and stand in front of the mirror and absorb the energy that you feel, whatever you feel. And obviously pick the outfit that you feel great in and feel
Pick that
great.
PJ.
Exactly. And feel great. And then take it off and put it away. So start with smaller steps. And that's the image that you want. Now, thought process is also the same way, is that think about what you want to feel about yourself and have affirmations for yourself that you can keep throughout the day. And those affirmations are very easy to just say, like, oh, I just say 5 affirmations. Okay, I'll do that. But I want you to be able to say those affirmations and think of why. So for example, if I say thank you for my perfect health or I am healthy, I want you to think of why you're healthy. Why is it you're healthy? Oh, I have a great heart. I have a great mind. I can see. I have great vision. My whatever it is that you want to name health wise, but keep your whys ready. Don't just say the affirmations. Even when you're dressed up a certain way, so let's say you're wearing a beautiful dress and you grab it from your closet, you put it on, you stand in front of the mirror and you say, I feel fabulous. Why? Why do you feel fabulous? So make sure you answer the why. Is it because of the dress only? Probably not.
Mhm.
Probably not. It's probably because of the way, your waist looks in that dress, or maybe, the curve of your neck looks in that dress, or whatever. Name the whys, because trust me, it's not the dress.
Mhm.
It's just a tool. It's not the affirmation. That's also just a tool. How
Mhm.
you feel and that feeling that you're getting while you're using those tools is who you are. You are the creator of that feeling.
Mm. You brought up 2 points that I wanted to kind of explore because I know you, I've known you for a while and I know your story. But you brought up two very good points about your why and
Yeah.
also health. I'm just really curious about the way that our mind think. Interestingly, you brought up the topic of health. I know you had a really rough journey to
Yes.
to find out your why. Can you tell us about your why?
Yes, yeah, my why started off very rough in terms of health. I mean, I struggled with figuring out. I at one point, I was on disability, and so I had didn't have a career for years, and so my why was trying to find the why do I want to feel a certain way came with a lot of difficulty in the fact that there were restrictions on those feelings. And they I was not used to feeling that way. So I had to create, as they say, fake it till you make it. I had to create a persona that I wanted to see and believe that that was me, that that was possible for me to achieve. And for me to believe that took a lot of strength on my part because I couldn't see it. I had to believe it, I had to have faith in it. And that meant I had to have faith in me. And so that started very slowly, where as I said, I would start with baby steps and saying, okay, this is possible for me, or that's possible for me. I remember I'd been on disability and I had given away all of my high heels at that point because I was so afraid, um, of being on uneven ground, because heels obviously are not, are can sometimes make you uneven. And I remember giving all of my heels away. And at one point, when I started to find out my why, I said, why do I feel so great in heels? And it was because it made me feel like I was a couple of inches higher, like taller, as you had said. I said, this looks great and makes me feel great. When I'm wearing jeans and I'm wearing heels with them, they make me feel better than I do with flats. And then I tried it. And I tried, like a 1 inch and then a 2 inch and a 2.5 inch. And that's about all I could do. because then it becomes uneven and it's not safe for me and it's not healthy for me. So I said, but I can do this. I can do this. And so it starts like that. And this is just the outside. The inside, where you feel like you are able to do things like I wasn't able to dance. And there are still some things that I am restricted from doing when it comes to dance. But I really push the envelope, not to the point where I'm going to, it's harmful for me, but I push the envelope because I'm like, this much I can do, let's give it a try. And so I do, but I don't push it to the point where I'm just careless. I'm not careless about my health. I'm very grateful for everything I've received. So I take care of it. But I also am not so careful that I'm putting myself in a box where I'm saying, what I couldn't do 10 years ago has probably improved now, So I test it to see if it has improved. And chances are it has.
Mhm. How long did it take for you to come to the point where, even though I can't wear something like maybe 3 inches high, but even a 2.5 inch was doable for me. It was something that's acceptable. How long did it take for you to do that?
It took a while. It took practice. How about this? I would walk around the house practicing it. I would make sure that it's safe for me. So I would
Mhm.
only do it at home to make sure it's safe. So practice, practice, practice. And also things like, I'll give you an example, my hair. So I lost a lot of my hair. I was wearing wigs at one point because I had patches in my head. And so um, I suffered with hair loss. And so hair became a big deal for me when I started getting a little of it back. I started feeling more confident. So when I went on Instagram and I started posting, I realized that there were these beautiful people on Instagram, as we all see, with gorgeous hair, beautiful, luscious. I mean, we know, we've seen it all. And I talked to one of my friends and I said, I can't put myself out there. And she's like, why? And I said, this is overwhelming, this is very overwhelming. I don't look like any of them. Who's going to watch me? And that was a concern for me in my head. And then she said to me, do you think it's all real, Nimi? She's like, that's not real. Even if it is, it's wonderful, but a lot of it is not. So I want you to start putting that in your mind as well, that a lot of things that people project is not real.
Yeah.
So to compare is also something that is something that plays on your mind, that stops you from doing things or trying things, because you're like, well, I mean, I'm not going to be as great as that person who's perfect at this, so I'm not even going to try this. So the same thing happens when you practice things, is that do it for you, don't do it for others, and then others will start seeing how amazing it is for you because of the vibration that comes out of you.
Mhm. Yeah.
But it's not easy. It takes practice. It will take practice.
Yeah. So you have a program called the Empress Empowerment Program.
Yes.
What is the Empress? Like, tell us more about why do we want to become the Empress?
I wanted to become the Empress. I am the Empress because of the fact that the Empress comes with four queens. And all four queens, so the first queen would be the Queen of the Hearts, and or Queen of Cups, we would call her. And she is the queen that comes with, a lot of feminine qualities like compassion, kindness, love, and unconditional love as well. And she's the one that fills her cup. Now, a lot of us believe in all of these lovely qualities, but also we haven't filled our own cup with it. And so the Queen of Cup, and this is something that I got from another friend of mine, Kathy, and I loved it, is that she fills her own cup first. And then her cup is overflowing and she gives you from the saucer. So we always think that we give from our cup, but we actually give from the saucer. Your cup is full at all times. And if it's not, then that's when you start feeling feelings of just not enough in yourself. And so you're unable to give. And when you do give, you feel empty then. So that's one queen. And then the Queen of Swords is the one that puts up boundaries. And she's the one that comes out and says to the one that wants to give, 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 she's the one that says, hey, um, we got to put a break here. This is actually not healthy for us. So let's put boundaries around us and make sure that things are healthy and um, and good for us. It's not always about giving unconditionally. You can give as long as you're not getting hurt, because once you start getting hurt, your cup starts diminishing. So the boundaries are to protect you and to protect everybody else around you. So there is that Queen of Swords that comes in and puts the boundaries up to protect you. And then there is the Queen of Wands, who's the sexy one. She's the one that's, flaunting everything feminine about herself. She's the one that goes out there and, projects this beautiful image of power and sensuality. And she's the creative one. And she is the one that takes everything that she receives from the supreme. She's connected to the divine, and she is in creation mode at all times. And so she comes in and, does helps you in things like your business, which the fourth one comes in, which is the Queen of Pentacles, who is basically the woman that creates her own abundance. And this could be somebody who creates abundance in her home life, or her business life, or her work life, or her career, or going to school and, getting a degree. There's abundance in everything. And she is the abundant one. She does not lack anything. Everything is inside of her. When all four of these queens are in balance and they come out when they're supposed to come out in whatever situation that you find yourself in, that's when you are the Empress. You have now embodied the Empress, who is balanced in all four queens, who is aware of who she is, and who knows that everything that happens, everything is happening for her, not to her. So yeah, that's why you'd want to be the Empress. And a lot of us have, I did as well, imbalance in a lot of these areas where you don't know how to set boundaries. You're a people pleaser. You have limiting beliefs. You have beliefs from society and from families and things like that. You have trauma that you haven't dealt with. And so, all of these queens can be in imbalance. And so you're not an empress at this point. You are struggling with your queens. And the program actually helps you get in touch and in balance with your queens so that you know who you truly are instead of what other people have told us who we are.
Mimi, every time I talk to you, you make me feel like I'm a queen.
You are. You are. That's why.
Like, you make me feel like I'm gonna walk taller today. I'm gonna go to my kitchen. I'm gonna proudly and tallly and confidently make my cup of tea, and I am going to make sure to fill my cup first before and so that it overfills, so that I can serve others with my soft serve.
That's right. You are an empress, Michelle. It's incredibly visible to all of us that you are an empress. There are certain things that we work on every single day in our life. We work on these queens every day. I work on these queens every day of my life. But that's because I want to maintain that empresshood. That I don't want anyone to this is not for other people, it's for me and my soul. So as long as you are doing that, it's okay.
Yeah. Beautiful. Where
Yeah.
can people find you if they're interested to learn more about the Empress Empowerment Program?
So for now, I'm still working on my website, and it's going to be fantastic. Thanks to you and all of your help. But for now, I'm accepting anyone who would like to contact me at Rise Resilient on Instagram. And with anything that comes up in terms of the program, just send me a message and I'll put you on a list. And once I have the program ready, you'll be the first to know. And yeah, and a lot of people who are coming in for the first time, for the first, I guess, shot at this, are getting a lot of discounts. So make sure you don't miss that chance, because that's something that I'd really like to give to people. because there are people who really want to do certain things or sign up for certain things, but then they're struggling with it. This is quite a bit to afford or whatever. So I really just want to serve. I want to serve. I want you to feel like an empress. So, I want that for people.
Mm. And like knowing Mimi, she's the kind of girl like walked she walked the talk. Like she would show up and she's like the empressy of she's the emperor of the all the empresses.
I
She's the
love that.
emperor of all the empresses. And like her body language, the way that she dressed, like the way that you dress, and the way that you speak, it's very elegant. It's very confident. And the fact that you're very comfortable in front of the camera, I can only imagine all these, the women entrepreneurs or even just everyday women who doesn't have that level of confidence. They're looking for a way to build it through that body image, the self image, the mirror work that you're doing for them. I love
Yes,
it.
yes. Thank you, honey. And um, if I'm able to make a difference, then that is the mission of my life, is that I'm able to give that to you. Because trust me, when I received it, and I'm still receiving it, so much more of it. When I received it, I totally, Michelle, felt like, oh my God, where was all this my whole life? Why wasn't I taught this when I was younger? Oh my God. But I mean, you don't look back, but yes, I felt that. I swear to God, I feel like that girl is a different girl
Yeah.
that I was all these years. And this one is completely different.
Mhm.
And that's what I would like to give, if I can give to the world, is that I want you to feel that difference in, you're just like, you walk out and you're just, as you just said, when I talk to you, I walk taller. I want you to be able to walk taller because you feel taller, not because you are taller. You feel taller. And then somebody else will come up to you and be like, oh, you look great today. And you're just like, that's because I feel great today.
You'll be like, I know. I feel
I
good.
know.
I
Tell
know.
me something I don't know.
Right? And
That's what I.
I know you brought something really amazing for my audience. You go ahead. Tell everybody.
You tell everybody. You're the magical fairy. You tell
So
everybody.
basically, if you're watching this video, whether it's live or if you hashtag replay, Mimi is going to give you extra 20% off. Okay, 20% off if you mention my name, Michelle. Okay, so she's gonna make you feel like an empress walking out of her session, and you can find out more about Mimi and follow her. Like her reel, like her Instagram reel account is absolutely beautiful and amazing. We had a workshop last week, a content workshop last week, and Mimi was my guest speaker, instructor in that workshop, and she did amazing. I got a lot of positive feedbacks about her reel, her instruction. It was just absolutely beautiful. We're going to go out there and make everybody feel empowered with the
Yes.
superpower of being the empressy.
Yes, because we're all just going to be empresses walking around, and all the emperors will have to just step up their game a little bit once we're out there. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a world filled with empresses, and the emperors have to step up their game because they're like, "Oh, this is a new world."
I feel a lot of them are already feeling that way.
Yes, 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 and more.
Right? They already feel very threatened already.
Yes. Yes. Well, they're going to have to step it up. Listen, if there are empresses out there, then there are emperors as well. So there's possibility for both of us to rise together. I think the women are just doing it a lot faster than the men are, which is okay. That's, I mean, we can be inspiration for the men. But yes, the women are stepping up a lot faster than the men are, and I've seen that. But there is opportunity for everyone to step it up. If there are empresses out there, there are emperors as well.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, any last word for our audience before I let you go?
I think for me, I would just like to say one thing is that whether you say that I can do this or whether you say I can't do this, the choice lies within you. So every time you choose something, anything, the smallest decision lies within you. The choice is in your hands. So when you choose to grow and to see and reach your potential, then that is a choice that you've made only for yourself. So don't do this for anyone else. Don't do it for your business. Don't do it for your kids. Don't do it for your parents. Don't do it for the world. Do it for you. So if you're able to choose this for yourself, that's the only way that this is going to work really beautifully for you. So make sure that your why is very clear and that why is the person that's in the mirror.
I think that's beautifully said. Yeah. It made me think about my why, right? Who am I doing this for? And really it comes down to I'm doing it for myself. It makes me feel confident, it makes me feel beautiful, it makes me feel like an empress.
Yeah, because Michelle, our whole lives, women, I'm saying more, but men do it too. We do things for other people. So yeah, do it for you. Do it for you.
With that, my friend, I wanted to thank you so much, Nimi, to come and talk to my audience. I know this is something that a lot of women needed to hear, um, especially nowadays when we see an obstacle or experience something that maybe doesn't go with the way that we want it to be. We have that self doubt and we don't feel confident in doing so. So I'm hoping that this topic, by reminding them that they have the superpower within them, just being the empress, and that there's always help by going to your IG. And again, you can find Mimi at Rise Resilience on Instagram, and she'll be able to walk you through the entire Empress Empowerment Program. Thank you so much, my
Thank you.
dear.
Thank you, Michelle. I love you. I'm so grateful and honored to be on here with you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to put you to the backstage so I can close up the show.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, everyone, hopefully you feel powerful and that today you are deciding to do something for yourself and no one else but yourself. And that, my friend, is a great power that you can bring into your life and your business. And hopefully you balance that between your masculine energy and your feminine energy to give you that superpower, supercharge to keep on going. And with that, I wanted to thank you for watching and joining me live. I will see you next week, same time at Light Coffee Talk. Bye now.